Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the website formerly known as Twitter. Today, two of the most controversial figures in US culture sat down for a live audio-only interview on Musk's social media site. And it kicked off like this.
It was 40 minutes of technical glitches, or as Elon described it.
We unfortunately had a massive distributed denial of service attack against our servers.
After an album's worth of elevator music, the soothing, musky sounds began, promising the forthcoming chat on X's Spaces would provide a side of Trump rarely glimpsed.
It's really intended to just get a feel for what Donald Trump is just like in a conversation.
But as it turned out, Donald Trump in a conversation sounds an awful lot like Donald Trump in every speech and interview from the past decade.
And they're also getting rid of their murderers and their drug dealers, and they're coming into our country at levels that have never been seen before. The Biden administration did something that's never been done in this country, and that's go after their political opponent, me, with this nonsense and just nonsense. He said that he has a red button on his desk. I said, I have a red button on my desk too, but my red button is much bigger and my red button works. And then I called him Little Rocket Man.
Weeks after telling the world that
you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell.
Trump kicked off the conversation with a detailed discussion of his recent assassination attempt.
When I put the fist up, they were relieved and happy and thrilled, and the place went crazy. It was a terrible thing, but it was
incredibly moving, yeah.
He went on to talk about his plans for education.
I want a closed-up Department of Education.
His take on climate change.
The ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 400 years. You'll have more oceanfront property, right?
And why Putin didn't invade Ukraine during Donald's presidency.
And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way. And you know, it's the last time we ever had the conversation.
There was even an unexpected compliment for his opponent.
Actually, she looked very much like our great First Lady, Melania.
Yeah.
She didn't look like Camilla, that's right, but of course she's a beautiful woman, so we'll leave it at that, right?
Not counting the tech glitches, the unedited interview clocked in at just over 2 hours, an estimated 1.2 million tuning in to hear few surprises, aside from what many thought sounded like a lisp.
So many millions of people. The sun, it's ridiculous. I saw things that you don't want to know about.
So did this exercise teach us anything other than Elon needs to update his hold music?
Hello? Hello?
Fingers crossed, hopefully, with no technical delays. Here's our man in the US, Steve Clemons. Hey, Steve, were we imagining things? Was there a lisp with Donald Trump?
Look, they said we didn't hear the lisp. I kept listening over and over again. I was wondering what was going on, and he had a lisp. He was slurring his words a bit through parts of the conversation, and there was a lisp. I guess he's trying something out new.
I just thought it sounded like
maybe it's the audio problem or something.
His whole audio was weird.
It was really distracting, which is why I bring it up.
Yeah. No, everyone's asking about it. But
Well, I mean, if it was just the audience, but there were certain times where you could listen.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, the irony. I'll kill for you to have a list now, at least anything.
My
Have we been pulled by Elon?
Yeah.
or the people that pulled Elon.
Oh, my God.
So do the rest of us have to talk with a lisp
Hang
now?
on. Oh, he's back.
He's back. Steve, are you there?
Thank God for that.
My man.
I'm here.
Right. Hey, Steve, so Trump is starting to slip in the polls and he's lost what seemed like a decisive sort of strong lead. Is talking to Elon Musk the sort of thing that he should be doing to get it back?
One would think no. You would kind of want to go talk to Oprah or someone with a much bigger base. But I guess he was going to go back on X, or what we know as Twitter, and this was part of the deal. So Trump got his official Twitter site back, and part of that was having this conversation. My friend Ed Luce was tweeting during this and said, oh, Elon is grilling him mercilessly. And clearly that was not the case. It was just the friendliest advertorial for Trump you could imagine.
There was a bit of Trump. He was kind of lashing out a little bit. Do you think this shows that Kamala's campaign, like Kamala's brat, for example. I think that's how you say it, Kamala's brat.
I like the movement.
Yeah, you got to move.
Yeah.
She brat. But is she getting under his skin?
Look, I think there's no doubt that Kamala Harris's campaign has just taken off. We've already seen in the polls that she has caught up with him and surpassed him in several of the battleground states. He is upset. He's gone out to give impromptu press meetings where he's rambled. You know, I think he feels extreme pressure right now from the Harris campaign and with Tim Walz. And I think a lot of people reporting inside said maybe he thinks he made a mistake bringing J.D. Vance on as vice president. So, yeah, he's feeling the heat, and she's definitely getting under his skin.
Amazing how quickly a masterstroke becomes a mistake in this game. Elon Musk said he's happy to host Kamala as well for a conversation. Do you think she would take that opportunity or should?
Do you know, if I were advising her, I would take it. I would take any and all takers like this, even as offensive as I think Musk was during that interview. You know, I don't think she will take it, but I think that Kamala Harris, you know, and I'm not endorsing her or anything, but I think she's got incredible, formidable skill as a prosecutor in exactly that kind of conversation. And it would end up not Elon.
Not Elon. What a clear! You're going to have to tune in tomorrow to fit in that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
To know what he was going to say. It'd be really interesting, actually, because it's been nearly... Oh, here he's back. He's back.
Is he back?
Hang on, you were saying Elon. Oh, no. What would Elon do if he spoke to Kamala?
Oh, no, he's not.
He's gone. It was a trick.
I think we have been fully and thoroughly punished for taking the piss out of X earlier in the show.
But it's been almost a month that she's been the Democratic nominee, and she actually hasn't given a full sit-down interview yet. We haven't heard from her. We've seen this kind of honeymoon stage during her campaign rallies, but we actually haven't seen her grilled.
Yeah. The change in perception about her has not actually come from her. It's come from all this stuff around her, TikTok and...
The vibe.
Yeah, the vibe. And the coconut trees.
Do you think that's because people who wanted to vote Democrat but couldn't bring themselves to vote Biden were just so relieved?
Maybe.
And I feel like the pendulum... Well, the question is, does that last till November? But the pendulum is just so forceful.
You know what? We're going to find out.
We are going to find out.
Yeah.
That's true of most things we discuss.
But not from Steve Clemons.
No, not tonight.